aha moments, they are the ultimate flex. We're going to explain that on this episode of the Business Coaching Success Podcast. Let's jump in. BJ O'Neill here with the Business Coaching Success Podcast. So glad you're here, where I share with you strategies, tools, and tips to be able to grow your business coaching practice to six figures and beyond as a Christian business coach. Let's jump in. Welcome. Glad that you are here. BJ O'Neill here with Business Coach Mastery, talking about aha moments and how they are absolutely the ultimate flex. Here's what we mean by that. It really is just the power, the ability, the opportunity, the effort, all about helping others see things differently, helping them to kind of get what I call light bulb moments, helping them to have these moments where they go, oh, now I get it. Because we can tell people what to do, and sure, that can work, but we don't have the power there, because when someone doesn't understand principle, perspective, process, they just lose that opportunity and they don't really get to understand why. So we're talking about the context of building a successful business coaching practice, a consultant, a strategist. And in our community, Business Coach Mastery, we give those who are looking to do that very thing a complete and total turnkey, done-for-you solution, okay? All kinds of resources, tools, software, you name it, to be able to help somebody strategically go step by step and coach them through a process. With that, the power really comes in is to moving and guiding someone from where they are today in certain thought and understanding and moving them to where they need to be. And this is where when people see you as the guide, remember, they're the hero. You're just guiding them through a process. And when you're guiding them through that process along the journey, and throughout that journey, they're having these moments that will go, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. Or, oh, I get why now. It really is, I don't love hyperbole, but it can be game-changing because you're helping them to open up what they just have never considered. Think about it this way. When we're working with business owners, some of them, their revenues are $500,000 a year. Some of them are $50 million a year. It just depends upon the types of business owners and relationships and entrepreneurs, their business sizes and all those good things. But everybody's stuck somewhere. Even those that are successful, we all have these elements and moments of where we're kind of perched on a shelf on the journey. And we can't move forward until we have an answer, a resolve, an understanding. Well, when those that come along, mentors, friends, we maybe read through a book or whatever, when we unlock potential, that's an aha moment. We first have to start though, because this is where I think that from perspective, perhaps, you're in our community, you're building your business and what you're learning, you're growing, whatever. Maybe you're considering it, you're thinking about it. What does it look like for me? How would this work or whatever? In order to really, truly provide transformation, because that's what we're talking about. Yes, we have the nuts and bolts. Yes, we have the systems, the plans, the tools, the resources, the step-by-step software to enable someone to significantly increase the profits and revenues of their business, help them to become leaders, help them to understand how to build culture in their companies. If you're not careful, though, we can just talk to them and dictate what needs to be done. And that does happen quite a bit, to be very frank with you. The transformation comes into play, though, when you're helping people to understand why and what to do. That's where the aha moments come into play. We sit with business owners often where they've been doing something for so long, not getting traction. And then when you come in to show them what they need to do to give them the aha moment, now their view of you, because of the influence you kind of sowed into them, changes dramatically. And they often want to share with others about those results. But to do it and to do it well, you have to have true intentionality. What that means is that you have to start with the heart of wanting to provide transformation and to have a deep desire to help them grow. Okay? And one of the ways that we do that is to simply say, a part of my DNA, a part of my message, a part of my, just the way that I'm going to come across in building relationships is to add value to everyone. Because that prevents us from I'm only going to add value to this person because I think that they could become a client. Or I'm going to only add a value to this person because I believe that they have the means to financially engage with me and hire me as their coach. When we begin to add value to everybody, that's where the heart behind why you're doing what you're doing. Yes, you want to get paid. Yes, you want flexibility in your life. Yes, you want to be able to influence others and build a system and a process that provides the resources that you're looking for you and your family. But when your heart is in it at a level that your influence extends far beyond the dollar, that's where transformation comes into play. So when you are working with prospects, the depth of that begins to shift dramatically because you truly desire transformation for them. Here's why this is important. As entrepreneurs, everybody's wired different. You have some entrepreneurs who think that they kind of have it all figured out. You have others who we'll call us stubborn, if you want to call it that, to where listening to new idea, listening to new thought, certainly taking action on areas where they find discomfort, sometimes that can be challenging. So when you're able to unlock these aha moments with them and they're able to they're moving forward now, they're plowing through the challenges, they're getting beyond where they've been, that's where you really help develop them as individuals, leaders, helping them to get the growth that you're looking for. Okay. And so for context, make sure we're all on the same page. Aha, we said this earlier, it's perspective. You're helping them to see it in a way that they can't see it. I'll give you a very simple non-business version of this just to make sure that you and I are fully on the same page, okay? Back in the day, nope, that's not true. It was just a few weeks ago. I don't know why I said back in the day. During the holidays is what I intended to say. I was with a friend. We'd gone to get something to eat, and we're just hanging out and whatnot. And so they were just kind of going on and on about the traffic, all the people, and they just, oh my gosh, a lot of people and breaks, and it's taking a lot longer. The lines are longer, whatever. And I simply said, it's true as to what you're saying. Yep, there's a lot of lines, a lot of cars, a lot of people, traffic's everywhere, kind of part of it. But have you ever thought about looking at it from a different angle? I was like, what do you mean? I said, well, pretty good guess that the majority of the traffic during this time period is because everyone's out buying gifts for their loved ones. They're enjoying the Christmas lights. They're enjoying the festiveness of what Christmas, can bring. They're making memories with their families. You've seen probably there's likely in your community a light display or neighborhoods that have light displays and whatnot. So when you put all that together, there's a reason why there's all this traffic and whatnot. It doesn't have to be annoying. It's a part of the process. It's part of the plan. We're out in it too. And yet there's a lot of joy in it. There's a lot of memories being made. There's a lot of gifts being purchased for their loved ones and whatnot. And the response that he had was like, I've never thought about it that way. Well, that key phrase, I've never thought about it that way. When you get entrepreneurs and business owners inside the coaching relationship, when you get them to state those kinds of phrases, because that's where they're at in their mindset, that's when transformation truly happens. That's the power of perspective. That's helping them to recognize what they didn't recognize. That's helping them unlock. And when you do that multiple times, both inside the step-by-step, or what we call in our community, in our coaching process, the step-by-step process to building strategies inside their business, as well as just in their life, just like I did with my friend, which that wasn't a business conversation. That was just about life, right? That's when people begin to deepen the relationship with you and see you truly as a guide. They begin to see you as someone with perspective. They begin to see you in a manner that they don't see others. And so when we're talking about building the business, it's those key moments that get emotional, that drill down a lot further and helps them to want to share to their other entrepreneur friends about you. So it's a key element. These aha moments isn't just about driving transformation only for them, which we want that. We want to provide that element of lift and growth for them. It's also a key measurement, though, in helping you build your business to get new clients because of what they are saying to their friends, family, colleagues who own businesses and whatnot and so forth. It's also a key ingredient to helping you have a longer lasting practice about client longevity. This is where you're taking clients that might stick around for only a year and helping them to get to 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. We have one of our coaches who, I think he's around 8 years. Like, it's pretty normal for his clients to stay around 8 years. Now, granted, he's been coaching for 25 years to put that into play. So that 8 years didn't happen immediately, right? It's over time, just learning, getting traction and whatnot. But nevertheless, it's a huge element. And so the goal here is, as you build your business coaching practice, you got all these things that you're learning, you're working through, you're walking through, you're helping to understand. It is the aha moment, because that's the flex. It's the coach who's constantly looking for, again, both inside the step-by-step process and outside of it, and just building the relationship naturally. You're looking at everything from a different angle. So think about it like this. Every single thing that you work on, every conversation that you have, including, just for instance, the conversation we were having with traffic, start to get into the habit that this is the you could go do this today. Start to get in the habit mentally. Imagine that, you're just sitting in a chair. Here's the issue that you're talking about. What happens if you shift the chair to a different angle and you see what you're talking about differently? That's just a visual representation, but what it'll do, it'll start to build muscle memory for you to cause you to stop, think about what's going on, think about what's being said, and to analyze what's happening. The more that you do that, now some of the things that you don't know a different perspective. Well, this is where the internet comes in, right? This is where I'm going to write this down and talk about this with somebody else. They may have a perspective, but as you begin to build perspective, as you begin to build the muscle, as you begin to practice looking at things from a different angle, and then here's how you walk this out. You start to do it by asking questions. Because in the beginning, if you've never really thought about yourself as a guide, even if you're coaching, by the way, if you've never walked it through in a manner that gets them to make sure that you give them space to grab the light bulb. Sometimes I'll say it, to be able to pull the string above their head that turns the light on. All right, so visual representation is very important when we're helping people to get transformation. So asking key questions along the journey, like this. Hey, I hear your pushback. I hear what you're saying. I don't disagree with you, but can I offer you a different thought on this subject? Like, listen to how that's couched. You're asking permission. You're getting them to stop and to think, because you're suggesting, I'm going to share something with you that maybe you don't agree immediately. Or I'm going to share something with you that I want you just to process and think about. So you ask questions like this, or you can say it like this. I hear what you're saying. Hey, I want to encourage you with something that it might take you a day or two to process. Is that okay? So even with bigger challenges, scenarios, certainly, this happened before with me when I'm working with the business owner, the entrepreneur, the executive on a key individual in the company. And it's just, there's some relational issues that they may see a lot of the problem with that employee or their business partner or whatever. They may not be wrong, by the way, but remember, there's always two sides of the coin. Excuse me. So in any situation, we have this opportunity to be able to give a different perspective. Sometimes we need to stop and say, hey, I want you just to process this, think about this, pray about this, because I think it's important. And so this prevents us from just talking at them. This prevents us from just, here's what you need to do. We want to give them thought. We want to allow them space to consider. so they can get to the point of transformation. That's the key goal. That's the ultimate flex. The more you practice it, the more you put it into your practice, the more you put it into your everyday speak, your relationships, on everybody, adding value to all. That's where you can become a person in so many people's lives and helping them get traction and building their businesses, being a better leader, being a better husband, a father, a friend, and so on. And I believe you can have that result on people as well. It does take time. Hey, perhaps you are looking at, you're processing it. I love coaching other people. I love adding value. I love helping businesses grow, love marketing, all those things. But you don't have the resources, tools. You're considering it. You're thinking about it. Maybe you thought about it for a very long time. You own a business. Maybe you're done with the 9-to-5 thing. Maybe life just didn't work out last 20 years in the corporate relationship, and you're having to figure out something else. And you just want to figure out about it. And so you can go to businesscoachmastery.com. That's businesscoachmastery.com. There's some information about our done-for-you turnkey solution that we give those who are looking to begin to start to build their business coaching practice, their consultancy. And if you want to chat about it, you can do that there as well. Until next time, take care.